This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Sunday the 17th of November 2013. Welcome along my friends to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, warning, dwarf star and mini solar system about to rear its ugly head. Plus, top secret deadly warning from extraterrestrials. Also, ancient text warnings of coming Nibiru destructive events. And comets, the harbingers of doom. Is Comet ISON bringing in deadly viruses with it that could cause a deadly pandemic? Okay, into this week's news. This first report originates from the NibiruSunset.wordpress.com, titled Top Secret Extraterrestrial Message, and it was posted on July the 6th, 2013 by Daniel J. Towsey. As a few of you know, we have travelled space for an eternity. We are different than you. We communicate telepathically. You are not aware when we do this. You will only perceive our thoughts as being your own. We can communicate with many of you at once, but not all of you. As such, we can influence one's thoughts and will. Long ago we began to cultivate your planet, you call Earth, with an abundance of delicate natural beauty that worked in perfect harmony. We were so proud of our work. Your planet was so beautiful. It was our best creation. Over time we were able to create a perfect balance. We then inhabited your planet with a primitive version of us that you now call humans. Long ago the primitives among your race could not understand what we were, and we became known as gods to your race. We knew that we could not spend much time on your planet and that we had to let evolution take its place. As some of you are aware, we repeatedly made ourselves known to your planet. There are historic signs of our influence found all over your planet. We continue to try and make your people aware of our presence. Many of you have seen our signs. You call crop circles. That is our way to try and gently awaken you to the idea that you are not alone. We are trying to communicate as gently as possible so as not to terrify you to the unknown. We have made visible contact with those among you that are supposed to be the moral intellectual leaders. But now we are very much afraid of you. You have evolved very badly. We are a very delicate, caring and sensitive race. Through our evolution, we discover that only with truth can we work in harmony and love with ourselves, nature and other species. As a result, we have advanced to where we are today. We learn that nothing lasting can be achieved through selfishness, hate, anger or even revenge. That only through 100% truth could we evolve. All through your history, we have telepathically shared wisdom. We carefully chose the recipients of our wisdom. These individuals had to be like us, always truthful, caring, giving and loving. Unfortunately, many of those we chose were either killed, ridiculed, ignored and worse yet, their wisdom was stolen and not shared. Other knowledge has been distorted from its intended purpose by evil, selfish individuals. Much of the wisdom we share has been lost or hidden, and much of it has been later attributed to selfish thieves that attributed their wisdom to themselves for profit. Your species has not evolved favourably. We are very afraid of you. Your selfishness is destroying all that was once so natural and beautiful. The further your race goes in that direction, the further you go from all that makes life existence meaningful. You have lost love and traded it for an artificial one you call money. Your unnatural love for money and self is about to make all natural things extinct. Your species has evolved in an artificial direction and at an unnatural pace due to the abuse of your money system. You see, we can share with you, but we cannot control you. Through this economic selfishness for material wealth, you have created what we see as a super evil entities you call corporations. These corporations have been tampering with the very fabric of nature, life itself, that which you know too little about. Your corporations are responsible for destroying nature, be they wildlife or human nature. Your selfish economic system is responsible for covertly killing life on your planet with the use of your digital, chemical, nuclear, propaganda, biological and economic weapons. You have forced your evolution to go out of natural balance. We are very afraid of you. We fear that you have become so unnatural and insane for the lack of truth in your makeup that your end is close. With the economic power now being in a few hands instead of all humans sharing everything equally through truth and cooperation, love with all living things, that you will soon go extinct, at which point your planet will evolve into another dead planet. We would love to be able to walk among you as friends and share our wisdom to try and fix your situation. We recognise that would be impossible, as your species has lost the ability of sharing and cooperation. But we fear that your selfishness will make that impossible, and if we tried in a desperate attempt to help you by making ourselves visible to you, you would probably use your corporate propaganda to instill fear in your people, as you have done repeatedly through your history, and attack innocent, kind, caring creatures that have nothing but truth and love to share. Your corrupt economic system has completely corrupted you. Your economic power has made you insane. You have no self-control. The only thing you have left is to control everything else through force and covert influence. You have no respect for life itself. You are completely incapable of incorporating with extraterrestrials. I feel so sorry for you. Your control of money has made it impossible for you to even accept generosity that can only come from unselfish love. What a lonely end. This following report originates from BibleSearchers.com, titled The Book Dark Star by Andy Lloyd. This is what makes the Dark Star theory so relevant to anyone studying ancient mysteries. It creates a local dark star system where visitors to your planet came from in the distant past, and where in a way we may have come from too. These ideas of cosmic visitors from Nibiru are derived from the writings of Zecharia Sitchin, but find credibility through the dark star theory. This sub-brown dwarf is part of a much bigger picture, one involving a whole new paradigm, the dark star Nibiru and its seventh planet. Andy Lloyd postulates that this dark star also has its own planets, 5 of which are small and minor planets. One appears to be a replica of planet Earth, and the 7th much larger and uninhabitable. This larger uninhabitable planet, according to Lloyd, could represent either Planet X or the planetary orb called Nibiru in the ancient Sumerian literature. If the Sitchin Sumerian translations are correct, then it is postulated that this planet actually acted as a solar ship or battle station, where humanoid travellers, called watchers in the ancient Jewish intertestament literature, travelled to this planet. They could travel close or cut through the orbits of our planets near the orbit of Jupiter, at the orbital inclination of 30 degrees to our solar ecliptical plane. At that point, the 7th planet was close enough so that excursion ships could be sent to our planet during the ancient days before the flood. Nibiru orbits by Lloyd since the 7th planet was orbiting 60 AU away from the dark dwarf star, which Bible researchers will call Nibiru. When this dark star solar system arrived at the closest distance to our solar sun, at the perihelion of 60 to 70 AU, the 7th planet was actually close enough so that stellar travellers encamped on the planet could transverse down and land on planet Earth. Do we have here the other side of the story of the Watchers in the ancient Jewish intertestament books called the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees and the Book of Jasher? Do we also know how the homeland of who are translated in the Sumerian literature as the Anunnaki gods? They also had a superior technology and governmental structure of imperial civilizations unknown to the descendants of Adam living upon our planet Earth. The dwarf binary star orbits in a clockwise rotation prograde around the Sun in our solar system, and our 7 planets orbit in a clockwise rotation prograde around their sun, the dwarf binary star. Yet when both of the stars are approaching any one of their 7 planets of the dark star, now are approaching planet Earth from the opposite direction. Even at a 30-degree incline, the 7th planet of the twin star Nibiru or any of the other 6 planets will now be launched on a collision course, slicing through head-on or in opposite retrograde to the rotating solar planets in our solar system. First, all the planets, and in particular our planet Earth, would be subjected to intense magnetic forces of the larger, dense dwarf star Sun, bombarding the weakening magnetic shield surrounding our planet Earth. This magnetic field has been declining over the last 2,800 years, since the last celestial catastrophic event occurred on Earth, as recorded in biblical history, when in the year of 701 BCE a large magnetic flux bolide blasted near the walls of Jerusalem. According to this author, our planet Earth, along with the rest of our solar system, may experience its first series of global catastrophes as the dwarf star with its 7 planets approach our Sun. Then, as the dwarf star flies by is completed, it will make its perihelion orbit around the Sun and return for the second flyby 3.5 years later, before disappearing into the darkness of the heavens en route back to the Oort cloud region of outer space and beyond. For the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com, where I posted the link. This foreign report originates from aaronhallam.wordpress.com, titled Destroyer, Frightener, Wormwood, Nibiru, Planet X by Aaron Hallam, and this was posted on July the 26th, 2013 by Aaron Hallam Standard. The following article includes dire warnings about forthcoming catastrophes from an ancient text called the Cauldron Bible. The Cauldron Bible, newly revealed Egyptian Celtic wisdom text, offers the knowledge of those who survive past global catastrophes so we can live. Millennia ago, Egyptians and Celtic authors recorded prophetic warnings for the future, and their harbinger signs are now converging. These predictions are contained in the Cauldron Bible, a circular wisdom text studied in the days of Jesus and lovingly preserved by generations of Celtic mystics in Great Britain. The Cauldron Bible is a 2-part, 11-book circular anthology. The first 6 books are called the Egyptian text and were penned by Egyptian academicians following the Hebrew Exodus. The last 5 books are called the Celtic texts and are penned by Celtic priests following the death of Jesus. Several accounts described an object in orbit around our Sun called the Destroyer. According to recent translated Sumerian texts, this object, also known as Nibiru or Planet X, is in a 3,600-year orbit around our Sun, and the Cauldron Bible warns us of its imminent return and of yet another biblical tribulation. For the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com, where I posted the links. With the so-called Comet ISON set to appear in the Earth's skies, there is a hidden danger that could well lead to a massive loss of life. Over many centuries, comets have brought with them deadly microbes, death and disease. As these comets' debris fields cross Earth's orbit and enter Earth's atmosphere, these deadly microbe viruses enter the warm atmosphere of Earth, causing them to activate or wake up, which in turn causes deadly transmissions of these microbes and viruses to humans. Many pandemics have been caused by these harbingers of doom. With Comet ISON about to appear in our skies, We need to worry, not just because space rock has been entering Earth's atmosphere for some time now, but because Earth will go through ISON's debris tail in December, causing the untold danger from larger space rocks entering Earth's atmosphere, with some hitting terra firma. But also the deadly danger of deadly microbes and viruses coming into contact with Earth's warm atmosphere. So be warned, a deadly pandemic could be the result of Earth's close encounter with comet ISON. And this final report originates from journalofcosmology.com, titled Comets and Contagion, Evolution and Disease from Space, by Ran Joseph, PhD, and Chandra Wimsing, PhD. And this was posted in May of 2010. For much of history, comets have been associated with death and disease. There is increasing evidence that life on Earth originated in comets and other stellar debris. If passing comets have continued to deposit viruses and microorganisms on this planet, this may explain why ancient astronomers and civilizations attributed to the periodic outbreak of plagues to these stellar objects. Moreover, the subsequent evolution and extinction of life may have been directly impacted by the continued arrival of bacteria, viruses and their genes from space. On this picture, the evolution of higher plants and animals, including humans, would be impacted by the insertion of genes from space, as well as recurrent episodes of pandemic diseases, near-culling pandemics and extinction episodes have in fact been preceded by or followed by inserts of viral genes into survivors who have transmitted these viral elements to their progeny, thereby impacting future evolution. Although the ancient fears and reverence of comets may be coincidental with the outbreaks of pandemics, they may also have a factual basis. Comets are vile stars. All ancient civilizations, without exception, have looked upon comets with a sense of trepidation and awe. Comets are considered to be harbingers of doom, disease and death, infecting men with a bloodlust to war, contaminating crops and dispersing disease and plague. Comets are vile stars. Every time they appear in the south, they wipe out the old and establish the new. Fish grow sick, crops fail, emperors and common people die, and men go to war. The people hate life and don't even want to speak of it. Li Chu Feng, Director, Chinese Imperial Astronomy Bureau, 648 AD. The historical record. Comet of 1857. From biblical times, great plagues and epidemics of diseases have punctuated the history of Europe and Asia. Callum 1996 and McNeill 1977. Although some of these events may have had an explanation in terms of local causes and conditions, the more dramatic episodes on record invite more exotic explanations that may be linked to comets. Comet of 1618 was associated with the coming end of the world and spreading death and disease. The Great Plague of Athens that broke out in the year 430 BC, Callum 1996, is a strong candidate for a cometary cause. The epidemic was localized geographically and declined and disappeared as abrupt as it had started, and no source could be discovered. The description of the epidemic and its symptoms described by the historian Thucydides 2004 had defined identification with an unknown infectious disease. In the 1st century AD, the Greek physician Rufus of Ephesus refers to an outbreak of the devastating pandemic in Libya, Egypt and Syria, Callum 1996, McNeill 1977. The popularly accepted cause of the pandemic is bubonic plague, in which flea-infected rodents act as an intermediate vector. But what was the source of the bacillus? At around the same time, Marcus Marsilius, 1020 AD, wrote thus: "Death comes from those celestial torches, which threatens earth with the blaze of pyres unceasing, since heaven and nature's self are stricken and seem doomed to share men's tomb." In times of great upheaval, rare ages have seen the sudden glow of flame through the clear air, and comets blaze into life and perish. A variety of microbes have been discovered in the upper atmosphere, including those who are radiation resistant, Young et al. 2010, and at heights ranging from 41 kilometres to 77 kilometres in Chanette Sky 1978, and thus in both the stratosphere and metasphere, which is extremely dry and cold, minus 85 Celsius to minus 121 degrees Fahrenheit, and lacking oxygen. It is the metasphere where meteors first begin to fragment as they speed to Earth. Could these upper atmospheric microbes have originated in meteors or from other stellar debris, or might they have been lofted from Earth to the upper atmosphere? To view the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com, where I posted the link. Okay my friends, you're all invited to join this channel by subscribing to endtimes23, which is a totally free subscription service. You're also invited to add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And if you'd like to drop me a line, please do so on my blog. All the links are under this video, my friends. All this week's news links can be found on my website endtimes23.com. The link is under this video. Just click on the link and go to the top left hand corner of the opening page and click on Informer News link. You will find all this week's news links at the top of the page under this week's title video. Well, that's your lot for this week, my friends. I do hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back with you in a week's time with another edition of Cosmic News. So until then, this is your Informer saying I'll see you on the flip side. With many of you at once, but not all of you. As such, we can influence one's thoughts and will. Long ago we began to cultivate your planet, you call Earth, with an abundance of delicate natural beauty that worked in perfect harmony. We were so proud of our work. Your planet was so beautiful. It was our best creation. Over time we were able to create a perfect balance. We then inhabited your planet with a primitive version of us. This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Sunday the 17th of November 2013, that you now call humans. Long ago the primitives among your race could not understand what we were, and we became known as gods to your race. We knew that we could not spend much time on your planet, and that we had to let evolution take its place. As some of you are aware, we repeatedly made ourselves known to your planet. There are historic signs of our influence found all over your planet. We continue to try and make your people aware of our presence. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, warning, dwarf star and mini solar system about to rear its ugly head. Plus, top secret deadly warning from extraterrestrials. Also, ancient text warnings of coming Nibiru destructive events. And comets, the harmingers of doom. Is Comet ISON bringing in deadly viruses with it that could cause a deadly pandemic? Okay, into this week's news. This first report originates from the nibirusunset.wordpress.com, titled Top Secret Extraterrestrial Message, and it was posted on July the 6th, 2013 by Daniel J. Towsey. As a few of you know, we have travelled space for an eternity. We are different than you. We communicate telepathically. You are not aware when we do this. You will only perceive our thoughts as being your own. We can communicate